on a remote, desolate planet called Oronis 7. An Earth salvage crew was performing routine reconnaissance. The team was composed of a mix of seasoned veterans and green recruits, all hoping for valuable tech or resources from the countless wrecks left scattered across the galaxy after decades of interstellar conflict. Their latest find wasn't what they expected. In the wreckage of an alien craft, they discovered a young alien woman, barely conscious but alive. Her skin was smooth and a pale lavender hue, her eyes large and shimmering, and her delicate frame was partially encased in some sort of bioorganic suit that pulsed faintly with life. She spoke a language none of them recognized, but the pleading look in her eyes was universal. She needed help. The crew's leader, Captain Mara Torrance, made the call to bring her aboard their ship, the Stellar Resolute. "She's not a threat," Mara argued when some of the crew voiced concerns. "If she wanted to harm us, she wouldn't be half dead." As the alien recovered in the ship's medbay, their translator AI worked tirelessly to decode her language. Eventually, a basic form of communication was established. Her name was Sarah, and she came from a distant star system called Arendara. Her ship had crashed while escaping a catastrophic war that had engulfed her homeworld. She had been adrift for weeks, surviving only through the life support capabilities of her suit. But it wasn't just survival she was worried about. Sarah revealed something that left the crew astonished. Her species had an unusual biological quirk. They required genetic diversity to reproduce effectively. The war on Arendara had decimated her people, leaving few viable males. Without external genetic material, her species faced extinction. What made it more bizarre was her species' unique physiology. They could only integrate genetic material from species biologically compatible enough to bond with their biosuits. Humans, it turned out, were astonishingly compatible. The revelation caused an uproar among the crew. Some found the idea bizarre, others outright uncomfortable, but a few were intrigued. Sarah explained with urgency that she didn't need anyone to reproduce with her directly. Her biosuit could synthesize the necessary material with a simple exchange, like a handshake. The process was non-invasive and painless, but it was vital for her to survive long enough to return home with viable genetic diversity. Captain Mara, seeing the bigger picture, calmed the crew. "We're talking about saving an entire species here. We've been in worse moral quandaries. At least this one doesn't involve guns." After some debate, a few crew members volunteered. They underwent the process, which, as Sarah promised, was harmless. The biosuit glowed faintly during the exchange, and the volunteers described the sensation as a gentle warmth. Sarah was profoundly grateful, expressing her thanks in both words and actions, helping repair the ship with her advanced knowledge of technology. As the days turned into weeks, Sarah's presence aboard the Stellar Resolute began to feel less alien. She shared stories of her homeworld, her people's rich history, and the beauty of Arendara before the war. The crew, in turn, taught her about Earth and humanity, from their struggles to their triumphs. Bonds formed, and Sarah became an honorary member of the crew. But their time together wasn't without peril. A hostile pirate faction caught wind of the alien survivor and sought to capture her, seeing her as a valuable prize. The crew of the Stellar Resolute had to fight off multiple ambushes, with Sarah herself joining the fray. Her biosuit could produce defensive shields and weapons, and she proved to be a formidable ally. When the dust settled, Captain Mara made a decision. "We're not just taking Sarah back to her people. We're going to help rebuild." With the ship's course set for Arendara, the crew prepared for what would undoubtedly be a challenging mission. Sarah's gratitude was evident in her every interaction, and for the first time in years, she had hope. Upon reaching Arendara, they found a ravaged but still living world. Survivors emerged from hidden sanctuaries, their faces lighting up at the sight of Sarah and the humans she brought with her. The genetic material the Stellar Resolute carried was enough to secure the survival of Sarah's species, and the crew's advanced technology helped stabilize the fragile remnants of the planet's infrastructure. The work of rebuilding was grueling. The crew worked side by side with the Arendarans, learning to adapt to the strange environment of the planet. Sarah became a bridge between the two groups, using her knowledge of both cultures to foster trust and collaboration. She led the efforts to reintegrate the genetic material, ensuring that the future generations of her species could thrive. One day, as the rebuilding efforts neared a turning point, Sarah revealed a hidden chamber beneath the ruins of her capital city. It was a repository of her people's most advanced technologies and cultural treasures, sealed away before the war. With the crew's help, they unearthed the chamber and began restoring its contents, unlocking powerful tools that sped up the restoration of the planet. However, their actions attracted the attention of a remnant of the enemy force that had ravaged Arendara. A massive battle ensued, with the crew of the Stellar Resolute and the Arendarans fighting together to protect their hard-won progress. Sarah, now fully in control of her biosuit's capabilities, led the charge, inspiring her people to stand tall against their oppressors. In the end, the invaders were repelled, and Arendara stood stronger than ever. The alliance forged between humans and Arendarans grew into something greater, a partnership that spanned the stars, ensuring that both species could learn and grow together. As Sarah said her goodbyes to the crew of the Stellar Resolute, tears glimmered in her shimmering eyes. "Your kindness saved us," she said. "Arendara will never forget the gift humanity has given." Captain Mara smiled. "We're explorers. Helping others is what we do." The Stellar Resolute departed, its crew forever changed by their time on Arendara. For them, the mission had been more than a rescue or a rebuilding effort. It was a testament to the power of unity and the resilience of life in the face of adversity. And as the ship sailed through the stars, they carried with them the knowledge that even in the vast expanse of space, humanity's capacity for compassion could make a difference.